What's going on? My name is Matt Lupi. I'm the owner of a local meal prep service called Simple Plan Austin, and this is my first video of documenting my journey as a business owner and building the soon-to-be biggest meal prep in the entire state of Texas. So I just want to start a series and do videos where I show you my experience as a business owner. You can follow along our journey, whether you're in Austin, you're in Texas, or maybe you're somewhere completely different. I want to show you and also selfishly document what my life looks like now versus 5 years from now and see where my business goes. Show all the ins and outs and what we're experiencing. And as this video series goes on, you'll get more of a feel for what we provide, who we are, what kind of meals we offer, and how our business runs and operates. I don't want to bore you with all the logistics right now and give you like my elevator pitch that I give people almost every single day talking about my business. You'll get the whole gist over time. I just ask that you, if you're interested in this and you want to support, stick around for future videos so you can see how all the puzzle pieces come together. But I want this first video to show you exactly how this week went, but I also want to show how I started as a business owner, because I think it's important to show the founding story and also give you a little inside scoop on what it looks like to be CEO, as you will, of Simple Plan Austin. So my buddy and now business partner, he actually started this in 2024, and he was the one who brought it to life. He was the one who got the thing off the ground, found the first customers, made the first meals, started the Instagram, started the marketing campaigns, delivered the first meals, all those things. I was not the guy who literally was here from day one. So it's a very interesting situation, especially for a newer business, but that's how we started. So my business partner, he was running this for about a year, and then, he decided he wanted to move back near his hometown and do something similar up there. Come to find out that he was just gonna leave Simple Plan Austin entirely. So myself and another one of my partners, we came in and we said, hey, we can fill in your shoes. I was working as a personal trainer and the assistant manager of a gym here in Austin called The Collective, and my other partner is involved in the gym Collective. And we're like, hey, we're in the space. We know a lot of people in Austin. We know fitness. We know nutrition. We know community building. Why don't we step in and help you out? And instead of you just completely erasing this thing, we'll step in. You get to keep part of the business, and then we get some ownership as well. So after those discussions and paperwork, it turned out that we, got on board and basically acquired part of the business for nothing. And I'm sure I'll share more of this story as time goes on about, how this all worked, what happened after that. But honestly, looking back at how this all unfolded and how a business literally fell right into my lap, there's no other explanation than this was, a gift from God. And I don't want to sound like I'm over spiritualizing something, but for those of you who know me personally, you might get the gist of this if you, watch more content that I put out in future. I've always had a business mindset. I've always had a passion for business. I grew up selling bracelets in middle school. I cut grass in middle school, high school, college, landscaping, owned my own company. I call it a company. It was literally just a service. It wasn't, not anything crazy, but I was working 7 days a week, long hours with dozens of clients. And, going into college and life after college, I became obsessed with personal development. I was reading, you name a book that's popular in the personal development space, I probably read it. I was listening to all the podcasts. I was trying to do all the things. I actually started my own podcast. I did a podcast called the Define Success Podcast for about 3 years. Grew it to a top 100 podcast in the country. I got to a point around this time last year. I was like, what is this all for? What am I reading the books for? What am I listening to the podcast for? What am I interviewing people for? What am I pushing content out for? Just, you spend so long preparing for something, you don't know what you're preparing for. And I started getting frustrated And I'm like, I feel like I've been doing so much work for 5+ years, and I'm not getting paid the way I want to. I'm not working the job I want to. I don't know a business to start. I don't have the confidence to do that. I don't have enough money in the bank to go start something crazy. And I felt like I was in no man's land. And I didn't know what next steps to take. And what I really realized in those moments was that was a time period when I really started leaning into my faith. And this could be a whole separate video, so if you're interested in this story, drop a comment, because I'm not ashamed about talking about anything like this. But long story short, I grew up Catholic. I fell out of my faith, and always say that I believed in God, but I never had a relationship with Him. And what is that belief even worth if there's no relationship? I don't know, but that's not a life I wanted to live. And in the last 1.5 to 2 years, I started recommitting myself to Christ, and I started to, focus less on personal development and more on my faith. And when all this came about, it just showed me like God had a plan for me all along. He had direction for me. He had that wisdom on my heart, on my life, without even me realizing it or wanting to admit, like, hey, there's a higher power out there that, I'm not in control of all of this. Me reading a fire quote in a book, that's not the thing driving my life. And I owe all of this, not to anybody who set up a relationship, or not to anyone that gave me part of their business for free. This is truly the Lord's work. And whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't really bother me. I don't care. This is 100% my conviction. And there's no other explanation in my mind. And I was someone who always saw myself as, I'm going to be successful one day. I had so many people tell me, you're going to be successful one day. I interviewed some of the most successful people I know or could get access to, and they would end the interview saying like, hey, you're going to go places. And it started like weighing on my heart and showing me like I have pressure on myself. I have pressure to go do something with my life. I moved to Austin about 3.5 years ago. I sold solar door to door. I was doing homework for kids on this app to make money. I worked as a mover, moving people's furniture all day. I worked front desk at a gym. I was doing it all. And I was like, when is my break gonna come? And whether this business actually takes off to where it's supposed to be or doesn't, we don't know. Time will tell. But this was just the product of preparation, doing stuff I didn't want to, remaining faithful in it, continuing to trust myself, and always showing up even when I had questions. I had confusion of like, why am I doing this? So there's a little bit of a snippet of the intro to Simple Plan Austin. Now I own majority of the company. I am the primary owner of Simple Plan Austin, and yeah, it's been almost 12 months since I took over, and we went from week 1, January 20th of 2025, we did 66 meals. Our best week was in November, and we did 555 meals. So incredible growth since then. We're just getting started, and I want this to be a platform where I can show you, what life looks like as a business owner. I simply want to show what life looks like as a 25-year-old business owner juggling many different hats, and also show you where we can take it. I'm still learning things. I've never had this much responsibility in my life as far as owning a business and taking care of people. So that's where the beauty comes in. That's where the value comes in for you, is showing you who I am, the decisions I'm going to make, how we are serving people, how we're navigating different things, how we decide to grow, and that's what this is all about. So the rest of this video, I'm going to show you what a week looks like, give you some updates. So I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you enjoy. Good morning. It is currently 4:46 a.m. A 4 a.m. wake-up call today. Monday morning is our delivery day, and right now we have not hit our number to hire a delivery service. So it's me doing the deliveries. That includes dropping off meals to certain gyms in Austin, where we have pickup coolers, and then we also do home and apartment and workplace deliveries. So this week we have 11 deliveries and 3 gyms to take meals to. So we're going to spend the next 2.5 hours just driving around the city, dropping off meals for people. But this moment every single week is really what sums up my experience as a business owner. This is something I actually enjoy to do. It's not always the most appealing thing to wake up at 4 a.m. on a Monday after you worked all Sunday preparing the food. But being the one that actually delivers the meals, delivers that service, is rewarding. Like, it feels like another layer of helping and serving people. So I do enjoy it. I am looking forward to the day that we were able to outsource this, because basic business knowledge tells us that the more we are able to take off our plate, the more we can do tasks that are more important, and outsource the rest that is not as necessary for myself to do. So something else that we are playing around with and did this week that I want to update you on, because I think it's like every brand does it. We are leaning into having athletes, influencers, whatever you want to call them. What that looks like for us: we don't have the biggest marketing budget. We don't have a ton of money to throw around for influencers to make posts. For a while I was just telling people, like, hey, shout us out in your story and I'll give you free meals, or let me give you meals for a week, make a UGC video for me. And I was like, I want something a little bit more consistent. I want people that align with the brand, align with my vision, they believe in me, they believe in our business, and they actually enjoy the food and they're going to eat it every single week. So I signed. There was literally no contract. It was just like a handshake agreement. But I'm piloting a athlete program for Simple Plan, and I'll share the details of what that entails. So 2 people we're starting with. Number 1 is one of my best friends in the area. His name's Kyle. Kyle is new to Austin. He's been here for a little bit less than a year now, and he's someone who just completely immersed himself in the fitness space. He is also a personal trainer at the gym that I work at. Coaches an awesome class. He's a High Rocks athlete, all those things. And what Kyle does really well is builds community. People trust him. People want to be like him, to be honest. And he shows his personality super well. And if you look at him, he doesn't have the biggest following. And you might be thinking, like, hey, if you're going to sign an athlete, you should want someone who has like 100,000 followers. They're going to have all this reach. And my thought process was, I know I can be honest with Kyle of like, hey, this is working versus this is not. If I'm going to pilot something, I want to be with someone that I trust and they trust me. Number 2, he doesn't have the biggest following, but it's very, very specialized. He literally started his Instagram page after he moved to Austin. So I would imagine, I haven't looked at his insights, but I would imagine probably 80% of his followers are in the Austin, Texas area. That is so much more valuable. If he posts something and 80% of 1,000 followers or whatever his follower count is are going to listen to him, possibly try something, or just be receptive to interact with the post, that is more valuable than someone who has 200,000 followers, but they can't get engagement, or maybe they all live out of state and we just can't serve them. So that was my thought process. Kyle's been a athlete with us for 2 weeks now. We give him free meals in exchange for content, and naturally he just spreads the word about our business. And the second athlete that we're working with is Amir Lancaster. Amir is a realtor in the Austin area. He's also an athlete. He was playing rugby at a professional level for a while. He was on a reality TV show. Like, bro has many different hats. Amazing personality, great guy, and he's someone that he tried the meals several months ago, and he was like, "Man, I love these." And he's someone who is very busy. He values convenience, and we were just talking one day, and like, hey, this just makes sense. You know, you have a good following. People love you. People trust you. You make good content. And, you know, truthfully, you could use some more convenience in your life. And truthfully, you could, you know, who wouldn't benefit from getting free meals? Anybody's buying food anyways. So we brought Amir on as well. And Amir is similar deal. Gets free meals. He makes content for us. He shouts us out. And I literally just talked to him today, the day I'm making this video. And out of nowhere, he's like, hey, I have 2 new customers for you, but they're going to sign up. Great. Someone from social media, one of his close friends. This is great. So it's proof that this is working, and if it doesn't, we can always pull the rug. You know, we're not spending a ton of money. I'm spending literally $0 up front on these guys, other than the cost to make the meals and the ingredients to make the meals. But you know, there's so much out there, and I would love to get to a point where we can pay thousands of dollars for people to make high quality content for us, but that's just not us right now. And I'm not in a position where I want us to take a risk on an influencer, a creator, and their marketing flops, or maybe they just don't even like the meals and they can't talk the way that we want them to talk. So that is something new for this week. I'll keep you posted on how that goes, but I'm super excited just to get more people out there spreading the word, talking about our meals, talking about our business, and seeing how that helps us out. Entrepreneurship is not always as fun and sexy as it might seem to be on the internet. So today is one of those days, and I want to be raw and show you kind of what the lows look like. And as a business owner, especially at a small scale, what is required out of you to make things happen, push things forward, do the work that might not be fun, might not set your business ahead, but is required. So the way our business operates is people can get their meals 3 different ways. Number 1, pickup locations. At our best, we had 6 locations around the city. People can show up, grab their meals from a local gym or other facility, you know, done. Number 2 is delivery to either your home or apartment. And number 3 is vending machines. So we had 3 at our highest, in different gyms where people can just kind of grab and go, buy meals as they want. Last week, I was informed that one of our pickup locations, a small personal training gym out in West Austin, was changing ownership, and the new owners did not want our fridge there as a pickup location. I was like, okay, give me a few days, I'll get a U-Haul, come pick it up. Today is that day. This is unfortunate, but also not the end of the world. Unfortunate because that's now one less opportunity for people to come pick up their meals in a convenient location. I thought the gym would be really great because it's a very small gym. Everyone that is a member there needs to either have like a personal trainer or be in some sort of small group class. So they trust the trainers. So like if the staff is on board, the staff liked our meals, they're going to be pushing it to all their clients. So ownership changed. They require us to remove the fridge. One less pickup location. That's fine. The good thing about this is it was not our most popular pickup location. We had 3 consistent customers there, and I said, you know, the day I found out about this, I said, hey, by the way, here's what's happening. I am going to expand our delivery radius to try to accommodate you, because right now we're doing 10 miles, 10-mile radius around the city. I'm going to expand it to 15 so we can stretch into the neighborhoods in the west part of town that you live in, and hopefully make it more convenient for you to get your meals. One of them said, please cancel my subscription. That's fine. No harm, no foul. The other 2 said, great, I will switch to delivery. You know, awesome. We still were able to keep those customers. They're now a delivery client, which is honestly more valuable for us because they pay a little bit more for a premium to get the delivery. So all in all, not a terrible situation. The second thing that happened today, and this was by my choice, we have a vending machine in a gym in South Austin. I put this vending machine in about 7 months ago, and I was super excited. It's a very bodybuilding, grungy gym. I thought, hey, these people are gonna love having high protein meals. At first, it did okay. The first month or two, we did a 20% off sale off of all meals, all oats, for like 2 months. So anybody that bought from the vending machine, they're getting 20% off, and that did pretty well. Got our name out there. People were trying the meals. And then once that sale went away, sales started to decrease. And I go stock this fridge every single week. In the last several weeks, there was like 1, maybe 2 meals sold. Some weeks, no meals sold. And I kept scaling down the meals. Like I started off, I put like 30 in there. And now I was putting like 8 per week, and they weren't even selling. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, we're wasting a machine. You know, it's not easy to partner with a gym and get a vending machine in there. But with the right opportunity, we were wasting having that asset somewhere else that we can be, you know, producing more money, you know, serving more people. So that was number one. We're losing money by not selling meals. So the cost of the meal, the cost of the labeling, the cost of the packaging, the cost of delivering to that gym and stocking it, we're losing out on all that money. Vending machines require some sort of software. It's not just like you can grab it out of the fridge. Like there needs to be a POS system. So we're losing money on that as well. So I'm in a U-Haul right now to go pick up that first fridge that I mentioned from the pickup location. And I said, you know, if I'm spending money, because we're trying to be wise out here financially with the business, if I'm spending money getting a U-Haul for, you know, 1 fridge, I might as well get 2. So I went in, picked up the second fridge, that vending machine, and I don't know if this is right or wrong. I guess we'll wait for the response, but I didn't tell the owner of the gym that I was coming to pick up that vending machine. The owners of the other gym, sorry, I should probably put names to these gyms. The owners of the pickup location that required us to leave, I told them, hey, I'll be there Tuesday morning to pick up the fridge. The vending machine, I did not tell them. I don't think that's right or wrong. I honestly was kind of scared of, hey, this isn't working out. I'm gonna come pick it up next week. You never know. I don't know the people working there. Don't really know the owner super well. I would assume that they're good people. But what if they decide to cut the cord to my fridge and now I have a huge expense? So I just mysteriously showed up with a dolly. I told the guy working the front desk, hey, I'm coming to pick up my fridge. He was helpful, helped me out. We loaded it up and I sent an email to the owner after. So we'll see what he says. But yeah, I mean, these are things that I'm learning too, lessons like confronting that uncomfortable conversation and also just being honest of like, hey, dude, we're losing money right now. Like, I appreciate you trusting us. I appreciate allowing us in your space, but if it's not working for our business, we're not going to continue to do it. So that's kind of my learning lesson today as like how to handle those situations. But we got the fridges. They are now at my house in my garage, which I really wanted to avoid, but we're gonna have to hold them there until we find a new home for them. And you know, that's just what it is. And we're gonna have to get a U-Haul again to take them somewhere else whenever we find those new locations. But that's what today is looking like. A few hours of driving a U-Haul, picking up fridges, hauling them around, and honestly, a little bit of setback because we now have less opportunity to sell meals for the next few weeks. But another thing I wanted to mention, one of my jobs when I moved to Austin a couple years ago was as a mover. And it's cool because I used to drive moving trucks that are much bigger than this one I'm in right now. I used to be moving entire houses with a crew, not just a fridge. So, you know, I have experience doing this stuff. Not that like it's super fun or super cool, but that was part of my life. And now doing this, I'm now in a moving truck, moving things that I own. I'm moving fridges that I own. I'm moving fridges for my business. I'm paying for this from assets from my business. Like, it's just cool and crazy how time changes, where 2 years ago I was getting paid hourly to do this and I was moving other people's things, and honestly seeing them like upgrade into cool houses, and I was just like, yep, I'm nowhere close to that. And well, yes, there's still a lot of work to be done. It's just very refreshing knowing I'm in a better situation now, and working for myself, taking ownership of these things. So just wanted to drop that in there because I know there's a lot of people that are working jobs that they don't love. And trust me, I've been there, I've done that. The experience is good. And also going through those things, it makes it so much more rewarding to look back and be like, dang, I used to move fridges for a living and now I'm doing it for my business to, you know, improve how I'm, serving people. Like it's pretty cool. I have no idea what I'm doing with vlogging, video, long form editing. So I apologize if I make this video way longer than it needs to be, but I want to throw this in there because it just happened and it's exciting. I just got a DM from, what's the gym? This is bad. Orange Theory several days ago, and they're like, hey, we want to partner with you guys. We do partner with a lot of gyms in the Austin area, so it wasn't really a surprise to me. It was just like, oh, cool, like a new partnership. That's great. But whatever account it was, they were like, hey, can we talk this week? I'm like, sure, here's a day and time. Got it booked. Literally just got off the phone with them, and this is someone who runs like an entire territory in Texas. So it's not just a manager of a gym. This is actually like territory manager. I forget the exact role she said she was, but someone who runs 28 locations in and around the Austin area and more. And basically what they want to do is they have a lot of members, and they have a lot of challenges and promotions, and they want to funnel people because they provide nutrition advice and like probably, some general macro guidelines to their members that are part of these challenges. They want to funnel them to someone who can actually execute and like give them the meals that are going to fit those macros. So we got on the phone, and she was straight to the point, like, hey, here's what we do, here's what we need. We want to basically cross promote, and you guys can get access to our clients because they're going to need nutritional help, and we'll promote your meal prep to them. In exchange, they just want us to like post on social media and throw like QR codes or little promo things in our delivery bags for people that order food from us to promote Orange Theory and give them a deal for something. So super exciting. I don't know, like what this year has taught me is not everything goes through all the time. It's funny because I literally had a conversation with Orange Theory months ago and they shut me down. So this would be pretty ironic if it comes back and benefits us. But number two, not everything works out the way that people want it to. Like, I've had potential partnerships that have failed. I literally talked about in this video how we have to get rid of a fridge because it just wasn't working well. And everybody gets excited about the start of something, but how are things going 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road? So I'm excited, but I'm not going to think that this is our big break to completely catapult our business. We're just going to treat it like every other customer, fulfill them, serve them to the best of our ability. And if things continue to improve, and number one, it needs to go through, but number two, if it works out well, then great. Like, that's incredible. But I'm learning to temper expectations, be realistic, and anyways, I just want to share that. And it took us a year